Howdy race fans, welcome to my little show about motorsports I like to call In the Pits with me, StockCar Scott. Each Wednesday here on the YouTube during racing season when I feel like it. Not a great weekend of racing this past weekend, at least for me. So, why does racing always have to be good or bad for me, StockCar Scott? Why is it always about me, StockCar Scott? You might ask. Well, you know, that one's an easy one, folks, because it's my little show about motorsports. Anyway, nothing big happened on Friday with a different couple of different types of practices. The guys out at Iowa and F1. But I missed most of that. I had other things to do. But I did see a K&N West 150 lap race Thursday night from Colorado on tape delay on NBCSN. Chris Eagleston won that one. And I do believe they have another one coming on tomorrow in the late afternoon there on NBCSN. Saturday, I read the bad news on the Facebook and such that my favorite F1 driver, defending champion Lewis Hamilton, had wrecked on the Baku street course in the final round of qualifying and would start the European Grand Prix from 10th place. His teammate, Rosberg, was fastest with Sebastian Vettel and Ferrari starting next to Rosberg and Mercedes. The other bad news that I read on Saturday on the Facebook was the weather cancellation of my favorite local stock car racing series, the West Coast late models, and their Better All Auto Sales 100 at Yakima Speedway. Seems the track had gotten too wet too early to have racing that evening. We were all expecting great things, but now we will have to wait until the 9th of July for the next scheduled 100 lap event for the West Coast Late Model Series at Yakima. With Yakima raining out early, my eyes turned southward. No, folks, not all the way to home, just to see if there was news from South Sound Speedway and their scheduled dual 50-lap super late model features that they were supposed to have. And it looked like they were going to have racing down there until I got to Olympia, a little south of Olympia. I passed through a rain squall, and by the time that I got to South Sound, the stands were as empty as the parking lot. I saw one of the beans, so I found that the same squall that I had just gone through had done in racing for the evening. Oh, and worst of all, you know what the worst of all is, folks? No chili cheese fries. Whew. And I'd been saving up. Though, you know, I can't say that the trip was all for naught. The Lacey Walmart did have a few new die-cast cars for me to add to the collection there. I look forward to returning to South Sound Speedway in a few weeks for the West Roads Firecracker 126, along with the mini stocks, bumblebees, vintage modifieds, and hobby stocks, plus fireworks to complete the evening. The annual event is always a highlight of the summer racing season. But, race fans, before that comes the summer showdown at Evergreen Speedway this weekend. Evergreen also had problems with the weather last weekend, of course, but they still got in 3 feature races in the rain there, with Aaron Green winning the Northwest Pro 4 Trucks 30-lap main, and then they also were able to get in their 2 figure 8 features. Fortunately, I still had racing recorded at home to watch on Saturday night when I got back from my trip to South Sound. Camping World Truck Series raced Saturday night at Iowa at the 7/8 mile track that was designed with input from Winston Cup champion Rusty Wallace. The new phenom William Byron put the Toads number 9 Liberty University Tundra in victory lane for a third win in only his 9th career truck start. Legacy driver John Hunter Nemechek put his number 8 Silverado on the pole, but Byron was the class of the field, leading over half of the 200 laps. Two-time champion Matt Crafton still leads the points with the next race at Gateway, Illinois, this coming Saturday evening. While hopefully I will be at the Summer Showdown at Evergreen Speedway. Racing Sunday began without me in Baku, Azerbaijan. I practiced that one, folks. Azerbaijan for the European Grand Prix that I time shifted to Sunday night. Yes, we can do that with the magic of technology these days. I figured it wouldn't be a favorite race of mine with Hamilton starting 10th and his teammate on the pole. And you know, race fans, I was right. Rosberg was able to get away from Vettel there at the start of the race in one of the first sets of turn. Yeah, he just left Vettel and the whole rest of the field. And there never really was a challenge for Rosberg from there until the finish for his 5th win of the season. Sebastian Vettel was second, and Sergio Perez worked his way up to the podium after a 5 grid spot penalty that he received, negating his second fastest time in qualifying. Hamilton finished 5th, but Rosberg was able to stretch out his points lead. So the next Grand Prix is July 3rd in Austria. And while I take a drink from my Sterling Marlin glass, I'm reminded that this part of June means happy birthday to Sterling Marlin. Got out the glass, got out one of his die casts for the evening because old Sterling's getting a little older in June here. Happy birthday, Sterling. Also Sunday was the Xfinity 250, the 250 at Iowa. And on the pole again was the old phenom, Eric Jones. Yeah, he turned 20, he's old now. Who had, really, folks, an abysmal race that was full of mistakes and penalties that were probably exacerbated by it being Father's Day. Only a week, few days since Eric lost his own father to cancer. I mean, that can't help but be a distraction. His teammate for the race, Sam Hornish Jr., you know, guy from IRL, raced Indy cars, has raced Xfinity cars before. Yeah. He was in the number 18 TRD Toyota. And on the other hand, you know, he could do no wrong in this one-off ride with Joe Gibbs Racing. Hornish led 183 of the 250 laps on his way to victory, while in a substitute role for the injured Matt Tiff, who was scheduled to be in the Joe Gibbs Camry. Ty Dillon, in his grandfather's number 3 RCR Camaro, was the highest finishing Xfinity regular at Iowa in second, while the former Sprint Cup champion and 3-time Iowa race winner, Bad Brad Keselowski, was third in the Penske, number 22, Discount Tires, Ford Mustang. And fifth was Dale Jr.'s latest driver, Alex the Showman Bowman, with his teammates just behind him in 6th and 7th, while the winner's other teammate and last week's first-time winner, Daniel Suarez, finished 4th and continues to lead the points going into the next Xfinity race coming up July 1st at Daytona. And you know, Daytona was one of Sterling Marlin's favorite tracks. Happy birthday, Sterling. Got 3 wins there, I do believe. Didn't you there, Sterling? Okay. And, of course, because I did not watch Le Mans, this would have been, that would have been all the racing that I would have been talking about this week. And this is kind of where the show would have started winding down. Had it not been for Sherry Garber of Speed51.com and the local Spokane racing community, she posted a link on Facebook to the ARCA race on the All-American Sports Network. And thank you, Sherry. Thank you very much. Because of Sherry, I was able to watch local driver Nicole Behar in her record-tying qualifying effort of 3rd, where she started her debut race in the ARCA series there at Madison, Wisconsin. Also in her debut, Nicole tied yet another ARCA female driver record by finishing 3rd in the Madison 200 lap race. Man, and the last time someone finished, a woman finished 3rd in ARCA was as old as Nicole is before she's been born. I mean, it's been that long. Twice her age, probably. So, anyway, usually a good debut in a new series that somebody's racing in means bringing the car home in one piece. Not wrecking, getting respect from your fellow drivers and all that stuff. A great debut is a top 10 finish and bringing the car home. But what Nicole Behar did Sunday should make the stock car world stop and take notice of this young driver from the Spokane area. Hopefully finishing 3rd in her debut will help get her another ride and more chances to prove herself in the stock car racing world. And I know this sounds sexist, but she's attractive enough to sell anything a sponsor puts in her hands or on her car. She had a good presence in her post-race interview, and I am sure with some coaching, she will be able to stream off sponsor names like the professional driver she obviously wishes to be. So all I got to say is, you go, girl. Anyway, oh yeah. I almost forgot. The winner of the ARCA race at Madison was second-time winner of the season, Josh Williams, in the number 6 new style Chevy SS, with the composite pieces and everything. And he won over Kyle Weatherman in the number 98 in an old-style metal body Chevy Impala. Chase Briscoe still leads the points in ARCA with their next event at Winchester, Indiana this Sunday. Again on the All-American Sports Network, so maybe I get to watch them again. That would be great. But this weekend, my priority will be the big summer showdown. Even though the Sprint Cup guys are out here on the left coast too, turning left and right, in the rolling wine country of Sonoma, it will be nice to be able to wake up at a reasonable time and not miss any racing activity for a change. I'll get to see all of the practices and qualifying and everything. That'll be nice. The K&N West will also be at Sonoma on Saturday, and hopefully we will get to see that soon on tape delay on NBCSN. And remember, folks, NBCSN and NBC will be taking over NASCAR coverage in July, so Jeffy G and DW can take time off. But one more race for Fox, and then we are already on the downside of the season. I know it's racing, folks, but it goes fast. There's no Formula One this weekend, but for you open wheel fans, the Indy Racing League is also road racing like NASCAR is, except for in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin at Road America. Just had a couple of friends send pictures on Facebook there from their visit to Elkhart Lake. So howdy to Vicky and Dennis. So looked like they were having fun. So there will be racing to see this weekend on the TV, just mostly road racing. But like I said before, I plan to be watching the region's best super late model drivers battle it out for the win in the Summer Showdown this Saturday night at Evergreen Speedway up in Monroe. Because that's what I do, being a big racing fan, folks. So come on out. Join me at the track for racing. Or join me back here next Wednesday for what I hope will be more than just another weather report. Yep, I hope to have lots to talk about for you next week there, race fans. Same Stock Car time and same Stock Car channel here on the YouTube, if I feel like it, because I am the one and only Stock Car Scott, and this is my little show about racing I like to call In the Pits. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you out at the track this weekend, everybody.